Hello and welcome to the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex for the final time this season as we see Arnett Gardens do battle with Tivoli Gardens here, and overcast conditions at the moment, a little bit cooler than usual, but there was some rain a little bit earlier today and maybe it will still hover over us over the next 90 minutes or so. 82% the humidity, 28 degrees Celsius, and as usual the wind going at around 15 kilometers per hour. It is the final round of matches in the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel, and we expect some action-packed matches all throughout the island here as we take a look at the point standings. Arnett Gardens and Cavalier the top two at the moment. Arnett Gardens very much favoured to finish the league on top in this preliminary round. Mount Pleasant, Harbourview, well, they are safe. Humble Line right on the cusp. So the battle really is for that sixth spot between Dunbeholden, Waterhouse and Portmore United. Dunbeholden, if they win, they are through. That's it. They don't need to worry about any other result. But Waterhouse and Portmore United, they need victories to really stand a chance of getting by Dunbeholden. So just the one spot there. And Falkland and Chapton, of course, they have already been relegated from the league. Let's now hear from the Arnett Gardens assistant coach, Eric Rademacher.
Coach, after only keeping 5 clean sheets for the first 20 games of the season, you've now kept 5 in the last 5 games. What has led to this defensive solidity?
I think overall as a team we start to grasp the concept of much better to be really a defensive unit and choose the moments when we're pressing, when we get behind the ball and really kind of, keep them away from our goal. And on top of that, I think, performances from Joel Cunningham who's really been outstanding, and Philando Wing as well, who's really been coming on good and putting that performance along with Earl Simpson. Then, we have a solid backline, and even outside of those guys, we have a lot of pressure. We see today Gerald Neal, Ezra and Simpson. We have a lot of guys who can come in and really put that pressure on the defensive side of our game, and I think that's why a lot of improvements have been there.
Moving from defense to attack now, your top scorer, Fabian Reid, has been in and out of the lineup the past couple of weeks, out of the squad completely today. Is it that you're managing his minutes going into the playoffs?
Well, in the Montego Bay match, he got an injury in the first half. So then last week, it was something that it was to a degree that he thought maybe he could play, but we looked at it, got some more results from the doctors, and even decided with the semi-finals 2-3 weeks from now, let's give him that full rest now and make sure we get him ready for the semi-finals.
Onto this game. This game is usually a really fiercely contested one, despite what the table is saying at the current moment. What kind of challenge are you expecting from Tivoli today?
Yeah, of course. Outside the table, as you say, Tivoli against Arnett, even amongst the players in the community, there's a lot more on the table than just 3 points. Pride comes with it. So we know it's always a heavy battle. So we prepare ourselves for an intense game as if it's a final same way.
Shea Smith is the player to watch for Arnett Gardens. He has been pretty outstanding in recent weeks. Scored in the last match day as well. 4 goals to his name so far this season for Shea Smith, and yeah, he's finding form at the right time on the left-hand side of the attack for the Junglists, and yeah, he'll be hoping to end this first stage of the Premier League on a high. Now let's hear from the coaching staff of the Tivoli Gardens team.
Coach Blake, last time out your team broke a 12-game winless run with a commanding victory in the end. Did that really lift the spirits of the team overall?
I would say yes, because it changed, winning changed a lot, so we just have to just continue today.
And of course, throughout the season, the attack hasn't necessarily been firing all the time, but over the last 2 weeks, you've scored 8 goals. What has led to this now newfound attacking freedom?
I think when you look at it, the players, the last game, especially the last game, when we play against Montego Bay, they were so free because there was nothing to play for. So it was out there expressing themselves. Very young team, so we just have to continue work and just say next season we have to just look at all the aspects where we go wrong this season.
You said nothing to play for in terms of the table position, and I'm assuming that this game there will be much more on the table, seeing that you'll be playing Arnett Gardens.
Well, definitely, as you know, Tivoli and Arnett Gardens is a very fierce match, so we are coming out here to give our best today.
As we take a look at the player to watch now, Diego McKenzie has 5 goals to his name so far this season, and again, a player that a lot is required from him. He has been injured for some parts of the season and been in and out of the starting lineup, but again, hoping to make a mark on this final game of the season for him and this Tivoli Gardens team. Let's see what kind of impact he will make as they begin their preparations for next season. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll have the starting lineups of both teams and kickoff. Stay with us. It's the final round of matches in the regular season in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. And up on the agenda, the leaders, Arnett Gardens, they do battle with Tivoli Gardens. It's a fixture which is deemed very much a rivalry between these two teams. And let's see what they can put on this afternoon here at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. So, exciting fixtures on today. Arnett Gardens and Tivoli Gardens. Dunbeholden against Mount Pleasant, Harbourview and Vere United, Malines United and Portmore United, Montague United against Cavalier, and Waterhouse up against Humble Lion. This is the points table as it stands. Arnett Gardens, of course, on top 52. It is going to be an interesting day should Cavalier win their match by a few clear goals and Arnett Gardens lose this final game against Tivoli Gardens, as that would mean that they will be level on points and Cavalier would have the better goal difference. Mount Pleasant in third at the moment, and they have an outside chance of getting into the top two. Harbourview in fourth, Humble Lion in fifth, but the real battle is for sixth spot. Dunbeholden, they are trying to stave off Waterhouse and Portmore United, and of course Dunbeholden, they face off with Mount Pleasant at the Ferdinand Park, and Waterhouse and Portmore United, of course, they have to win their remaining game this afternoon in order for them to stand a chance and get into the playoff spot. Wherever you're watching all over the world, thank you so much for joining our coverage here on the Home of Champions. My name is Donald Oliver. With me is Leger Williams. I'd like to get your thoughts on not just this fixture, but the final round of matches here.
Yeah, thank you, Donald. But this is what really football is supposed to come down to. This is why playoff football is so exciting. The fact that it can cause regular season games to have much more to it. All of a sudden, teams battling from 5th to 8th really are in for a real ride this weekend just because of how much they have to play for. That wouldn't be the case otherwise. So we have a lot to look forward to, as you mentioned, not only in this game, the Battle of the Gardens, as it's been dubbed, the Battle of West Kingston, as it's been dubbed, but all across the league as well.
Arnett Gardens, they have been really consistent this year, and I have been impressed by their level of performances throughout the season.
Please rise for the play.
We now pause for the playing of the national anthem. Of course, we'll keep you updated on all the matches across the league, especially for that battle for sixth spot. Most eyes will be on Ferdinand Park, where Mount Pleasant, they have travelled to face off with Dunbeholden, and yeah, we'll just keep you abreast of all the scores going across the league. But for now, we are here at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Never bad to see Arnett Gardens in action. They have been really consistent this season.
Yeah, they've been playing some really good football for, call it all the season really. They've really been the form team of the league. They've produced some really exciting game. Our officials, of course, Narissa Golson. She'll be assisted by Stephanie Dale Yising and Rickton Archer. And the fourth official will be Carvel Banton. But yeah, Arnett Gardens have been an exciting watch, especially here at home. So many games they have gotten this season, Arnett Gardens, here at their home Tony Spalding Sports Complex. And yeah, they've really haven't disappointed anyone. They've been playing some really good stuff, and lately as well, they've been defending well as well.
The defenders, the captains, Odin Pennycook of Tivoli Gardens, Joel Cunningham of Arnett Gardens.
And we heard how his assistant coach, Eric Radamacher, spoke glowingly about Joel Cunningham right before the game.
Obviously a part of a back four by Arnett Gardens with Eric Edwards between the sticks. Cunningham is joined by Ezran Simpson, Senor Evans and Gerald Neal in the middle of the park. Marlon Martin and Jaheim Thomas, as well as Ajuma Johnson. Not a lot of times we see Thomas and Johnson playing together. Shea Smith, Marlon Allen and Rashiki Kelson up front.
No spot in the squad for their top goal scorer, the second top goal scorer in the Jamaica Premier League, Fabian Reid, who's nursing a bit of an injury. Look out for Jaheim Thomas, who's going to play a little bit deeper in the midfield today.
Did miss out last match day as well, although he was on the bench, Fabian Reid. As we take a look at the Tivoli Gardens starting lineup with Nicholas Clark in goal. Odine Pennicook, Barrington Price, Rashid Hans, Keno Simpson, Alton Lewis, Kevin Garnett, Trevon McCain, Kimani Smith, Nicalia Fuller and Diego Mackenzie complete the starting lineup.
Yeah, Nicalia Fuller has been a recent highlight to Tivoli Gardens, has really produced some real moments of quality. The young player, only 17 years of age, he'll be looking to make an impact in this game as well.
They are playing with a 3-5-3 formation. They have adapted that style in recent weeks. 3-4-3 formation, or 3-5-2 if you prefer. Let's see how it will play out this afternoon. We're just moments away from kickoff here. And it will be Arnett Gardens to start the proceedings on their home field. Unless something changes with the fixtures, this will be the final time we'll be broadcasting from the Anthony Spawning Sports Complex this season. And we are on the way here, as there are quite a few chapters or quite a few lines to be written in this final chapter of the regular season here. Arnett Gardens, they just need a point to secure that top spot. Tivoli Gardens will be up for this. This is a rivalry like no other, really. They would be disappointed that they are not even in the conversation for the playoff spot, but no doubt they'll be back next season. Tivoli Gardens, they have to do some defending now. Evans, used to see him play on the right-hand side of the defense. He's now at the left-hand side. Gerald Neal is the one patrolling over on the right-hand side of the defense. Ezran Simpson, a part of the back four. There's no Earl Simpson. And it's a goal kick to Arnett Gardens.
Arnett Gardens trying to pass the ball around. The surface will be quite slick. We have had some rain this afternoon. Arnett Gardens do love to pass the ball around, one of the better ball-playing teams in the league, if not the best. We've seen them produce some sublime moments of quality in terms of that this season. But Tivoli are a tough team. They like to make the midfield battle especially really rugged. Here's our captain, Pennicook.
Deciding to go long. Pennicook. Mackenzie trying to pick it up, making his way inside the box. Forced wide though, pulls it across. Vital interception there from Cunningham. Simpson was inside the box but couldn't quite get it under his spell, and now Kelson comes away with it for Arnett Gardens. Here they come. Well, the sprinklers are back on here at the Tony Spawning Sports Complex, not as if it's necessary. Johnson trying to get that one inside the area, and they've now been turned. No, they're still on. I mean, it was raining earlier. Paul Teagat Davis, of course, the man in charge of this Arnett Gardens team. Former national striker as well, Paul Teagat Davis. What a fantastic year they've had. If they secure a draw here, as we take a look at Jermaine Johnson, who's very much used to this fixture. Man now in charge of Tivoli Gardens Football Club. Here's the corner kick. And, well, Shea Smith coming on the end of that one, couldn't quite guide it goalwards.
And I'm surprised he couldn't guide it goalwards as well, given his recent form. You mentioned earlier that he's really been in and amongst the goals since moving to Arnett Gardens in January. Has been a staple on either wing for them. has added a new dimension on those wings.
Not a bad finisher too. Simpson back there. Settles for the throw. We've been speaking about the consistency of Arnett Gardens, and it's not often that we can say that about Arnett Gardens in the season. They actually won the league from being in 6th place as they competed in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago. As a matter of fact, they regular finished down the table in the playoffs. The last time they finished first in the regular season was, of course, in the 2014-2015 season, where they would have won the league. Let's take a look at the infringement there from Keena Simpson. That year, Tivoli Gardens actually finished 6th. So there's been quite some distance between these two teams in recent years, despite the fact that they are involved in an intense rivalry.
Yeah, Tivoli hasn't had too much to add to the bragging rights in recent years.
Although in the past 10 to 13 years, Arnett Gardens have flirted with relegation on a couple of occasions, as this shot is high, wide, not quite handsome from Evans. They have flirted with relegation in the past. They've finished 10th on a couple of occasions. They finished 9th in the very short season back in 2021. So yeah, they've been one of the more exciting teams. And maybe they play the most exciting brand of football, but they haven't been as consistent as we've seen them this season. They've played attractive football, they've been consistent, and you really have to give props to the coaching staff led by Paul Tiga Davis.
Coaching staff as well as the recruitment team. They've built a very good squad.
That was lovely. They're moving away from trouble and supplying the pass out wide, Trevon McCain. Now this Simpson with the overlapping run. Can't get by his namesake of the Ezran variety. It's put into touch.
Tivoli looking to do what they generally do best in attack. Getting the ball from back to front as quickly as possible. Not quite as patient as Arnett Gardens are in possession. Trying to play to their strength, and their strengths have come to the fore over the past couple of weeks. 3 goals 2 weeks ago, 5 goals last week, so 8 goals in 2 weeks. And when you compare that to the first 23 weeks of the season, where they only scored 20 goals, it's been a marked improvement by Tivoli. And they're going to test this Arnett team, who haven't conceded in 5 games. And in their first 20 games had only had 5 clean sheets, so improvement from them in that front as well.
Corner kick for Tivoli Gardens, and Arnett Gardens doing enough to clear, and now they have possession. McCain winning that battle but losing the war in the end. Now it goes the other way. Referee sets play on. Smith tucks it inside. Johnson with a dink, but too close to Nicholas Clark. Back in between the sticks. Kevin Watkins has had a spectacular last few weeks in both the Premier League and the Link Cup, providing some spectacular saves for Tivoli Gardens, the custodian. Nicholas Clark isn't a bad backup keeper, to say the least. Here's Arnett Gardens. Almost got through the final one there. Allen comes through to Kelson. That was predictable, and he was robbed. Stays on the turf, though may need some attention. Just about getting up. Tivoli Gardens will continue through McCain. Nice touch inside. Michaela Fuller again couldn't get by the defender. Shaheem Thomas playing in a deeper role as Johnson sends it out to Evans, and Evans looking for options here. It was a hospital pass as he tried to find Smith. Mackenzie. Lewis needs to see more of the ball. Can supply a very good pass when he's ready. Gets one to Mackenzie. Lewis gets it to the byline. He goes. Wasn't accurate on that occasion, but there was a deflection. It's going to be a corner kick to Tivoli Gardens once more.
Yeah, Eric Edwards there in the Arnett Gardens goal. Did have a spell out in the middle of the season due to injury, where we saw Acha Hutchinson getting some starts. Ended up being called up to a national team as well. But Eric Edwards has been in fine form lately, as I mentioned, 5 straight clean sheets.
Here's a corner kick. Simpson is there. High and wide in the end. Keita Simpson can be a dangerous outlet, especially with the ball at his feet.
That was actually Diego Mackenzie with a header.
Here's Tivoli again. Lewis. Hans. Pennycook, the skipper. Lewis trying to make his way through and was fouled. Well, there wasn't a whole lot in that, but free kick given anyway. Gets return ball. What can he do with it? Pulls it across. It's dangerous. It was a hopeful ball that Hans saw all the way through.
Tivoli with a good start, actually. Arnett Gardens haven't been as precise as they usually are so far.
Evans. Thomas. Inaccurate with his passing there. Tommy Lawrence was trying to play that one forward. Tommy Lawrence originally not named in the starting lineup. We did have Kimali Smith, the number 7, to be in the 11. But alas, Tivoli Gardens with the change. And of course not passing on the information. But Tommy Lawrence is on the field wearing the number 45.
Can't miss him, bright orange socks. Looks as if he got a new pair for the last game of the season.
The operative word there being bright.
Very. Can't miss him. Don't think he'll evade any markers today.
No, I don't think so.
James Thomas in close proximity. Arnett Gardens with a free kick here. Assuming that Ajuma Johnson will be the prime candidate to put this one in.
Being told to wait for the whistle. Be sent back a few yards.
A few more now.
Yeah, I've seen the funny side of it all. They usually commit bodies forward on Arnett Gardens. No difference on this occasion. As Drizzle is back with us. Well, that was poor. Jaheim Thomas on it. Oh, that's a lovely ball, you know. Sent inside again, not cleared properly. And Kelson now with it. Thomas. Didn't quite work out for Martin on that occasion. Now he goes the other way. Fuller. Good defending there from Thomas. Really good defending. Now it's with Ajuma Johnson. Martin out wide. Arnett Gardens in control right now. Evans. This is Ajuma Johnson. Lovely touch inside to Smith. Has some space. Decides to play it back to Johnson, but it was inaccurate. Probably should have gone for goal himself, but he's heavily right-footed. Is Shea Smith. Simpson. Decided against the delivery inside the area. Price. Hans. McCain. Fuller. Play continues. Lewis. Ball played inside, headed away by Cunningham. Simpson retrieves. Has Kelson for company. Tivoli Gardens playing the patient game so far, even though they're in the attacking third. They've lost it, and Thomas has it. Gets the return, almost. A free kick awarded in favor of Tivoli Gardens, I think.
Although it was Jaheim Thomas who ended up on the more painful side of that challenge. He's slight of frame, Jaheim Thomas, but never shies away from a challenge, as we saw there.
To be fair, it's Price, so even if he fouled him, he was in danger of getting hurt.
And no matter the size of the person who was going against Price, they would always be in trouble.
Indeed. Eric Rademacher's on the left, Paul Teager-Davis on the right.
I can tell already that they're not necessarily too pleased with what they're seeing so far. Passes aren't necessarily sticking as they usually do. Speaking of,
well, he's in an onside position. He's through on goal. Surely he will finish. Saved by Clark. And Price will get them even further out of trouble. Well, that's a big opportunity it was for Marlon Allen, looking for his 5th this season. He could not convert.
Yeah, not the best choice of finish there. he looked as if he wanted to open up his body, but once he did try and place the ball, he just placed it straight down on the goalkeeper. So yeah, he'll be disappointed with that finish. So too will his coaches, his teammates, because he definitely can do better than that one, Marlon Allen.
It's a lapse in concentration from the Tivoli Gardens team there. They almost paid the price. Although it was Price who managed to get that one just in front of the goal line there in the end. This is Simpson. Martin now. Thomas. Evans. Smith. Oh, lovely touch inside the give and go back to Smith. Pennicook comes across, does enough.
Yeah, it was his pressure that caused the problems. But here's a chance again. Yeah, Marlon Allen running through.
He almost had too much time.
Yeah, I just don't think he got the right contact on the ball. Did the right thing. Tried to open up his body, maybe give the goalkeeper the eyes. But he has to place it in that far corner. That's where all the space is. But shot it right at the goalkeeper.
Here's a Juma Johnson now. Lovely challenge came in from Lewis, but it comes through. Ball played inside. Oh, that should have been buried again. Did the flag go up? It did. Offside against Marlon Allen. But Arnett Gardens tearing Tivoli Gardens apart. They were saved, however, Tivoli by the offside flag going up. But what a chance.
Jaime Thomas again influential in this game. That time it was Kelson who has been in really good form as of late also. But yeah, just outside Marlon Allen, and that may have spared his blushes because that was another big miss. And we said that Arnett Gardens weren't getting the ball around as they usually do, but they still have majority of the possession, 55% to Tivoli's 45.
Well, let's see what Tivoli Gardens can do. They've been under pressure a little bit. Lewis, we know that he can provide a good ball inside the area. Again, Cunningham is in the way though. It's with Keno Simpson. There's an appeal for a handled ball right outside the box.
Yeah, that looked close. His hand was up. I'm not sure if it was up enough to call a handball. Let's see it here. Yeah, he was outside the box. That's a bit harsh, I think. That went right under his armpit, really.
Well, the position of his arms, though.
Yeah, you give the referee a decision to make.
Yeah, and it was pretty easy in the end, I felt. Even though it was pretty close. The point is that he made himself bigger by extending his arms there, and the free kick was awarded.
If that was in the box, that would have been a contentious one. But nonetheless, it's still a really good opportunity for Tivoli now. Free kick, enough space for it to go up and down. Nicalia Fuller, he's a talented set-piece specialist. We saw that in high school. Let's see what he can deliver now.
Trevor McCain is also there as well. The five-man wall, already constructed by Eric Edwards. Let's see what Tivoli Gardens can do with this opportunity here. It is Fuller, wonderfully done. An exceptional free kick from Nicalia Fuller. That was just wonderful to watch. From the set piece, he has given Tivoli Gardens the lead in this derby, and we can watch this over and over again because Edwards had no chance.
I said he was a set piece specialist. He definitely lived up to that billing. What an effort, what a strike, what a goal. Fuller, from high school days, he's been doing it in green. It's a darker green now, the away kit of Tivoli Gardens. And it's Tivoli Gardens who he has given the lead against Arnett Gardens. Well, it's a battle of the Gardens and Tivoli are the Garden that is up now. 1-0 over Arnett Gardens.
First goal this season, what a way to be on the score sheet, Nicalia Fuller. An exceptional strike. And Eric Edwards had little chance to get there. Now Arnett Gardens, they have their work cut out for them. They are the ones who have created the majority of the chances. But Tivoli Gardens, they are the ones who scored. And here is Smith. Has Allen for company. Allen trying to turn away from trouble. Lewis is back there. And it's deflected for a goal kick to the Tivoli Gardens team.
And that's the first time the Arnett Gardens have been breached in close to 500 minutes of action in the Jamaica Premier League. It was a set piece where it was such a wonderfully taken one. This young man full of talent. He's been a real live wire as
Here's
Arnett now.
Arnett Gardens looking for the response. Smith retrieves. Evans has time and space. Ball played inside the back post. Tried to just tap that one inside. Gerald Neal from one full back to the next.
Yeah, and yet again, for the second time in a row in such short succession, it's Arnett Gardens blocking their own shot. It's going to be a goal kick for Tivoli now. They're living a bit dangerously, but they've yet to concede.
Throw in awarded to Arnett Gardens. Well, the top of the table is interesting now. Cavalier, they're leading their matchup by 2-0. Cavalier leading by 2-0. So if the scoreline remains the same, Cavalier would finish top of the league. And Mount Pleasant, they're leading Dunbeholden by 1-0 at Ferdinand Park. That's a late challenge on Smith. Pennicott knew it. He's not even making eye contact with the referee because a yellow card is coming out for the Tivoli Gardens skipper.
Yeah, no escaping that one. Cavalier making look like easy work of Very United. Pennycook didn't make easy work of that tackle. Good chance now for Arnett Gardens from a set piece, although this one is more than likely going to be swung in. Big news that also that Mount Pleasant are leading. Dunbeholden may have it all to do now.
Have even bigger news. Portmore United leading Malines United by 1-0 as well. Portmore, as far as the live table is concerned, they are now in 6th spot. Free kick to Arnett Gardens. Yeah, that's disappointing from Arnett Gardens' perspective.
Yeah, we heard the groans immediately from the crowd, who are situated quite close to us, trying to hide from the rain.
So Mount Pleasant leading Dunbeholden by 1-0. Jordan Fletcher in the 26th minute. Cavalier leading their matchup with Montego Bay United by 2-0. Ronaldo Webster, Brian Elshot, the goal scorers in that Portmore United game with Malines United. It's Chevon Walsh who is on the score sheet. Of course, in a game played earlier today, the two relegated clubs, Falkland and Chapelton, shared equally 8 goals.
They waited 26 weeks to put on a show for their fans.
Well, we're assuming it was a show. Just 8 goals were scored. Here's Lewis. That was swerving, but not a lot of power to really trouble Eric Edwards.
Arnett Gardens need a goal to maintain their first place. It's currently not theirs anymore via the live table.
Yeah, they just need a draw, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they will rest. But to finish top of the table and get some cash with it, not a bad incentive, I suppose. Evans trying to dribble his way through. Smith picks it up. And Lewis getting some help from his captain. Thomas tucks it out wide. Gerald Neal on it. Looking for Smith. Looking to deal in the spectacular there. Evans. Here's a shot from Martin that wasn't on target.
Arnett Gardens looking to sustain some pressure. This time their defensive midfielder, Marlon Martin. Yeah, that one was miscued.
So, as we take a look at the live table, Cavalier and Arnett Gardens, 52 points. Cavalier just edging it in terms of goal difference, and in that 6th spot, Portman United on 40 points.
Yeah, big news. Already a lot of movement, but there is around 60 minutes to play in each of those games, so much can happen.
Indeed. Lewis, no issues there for Edwards. And the sun is back with us. Not in all its glory, of course, the sun, but still back. Still very much overcast, though.
Handball there by Marlon Allen. Hasn't had the best 31 minutes of his career so far. But they won't mind whatsoever because Nikolai Fuller has given them the lead in this one. Lovely free kick. I'm sure you'll see it all over, all week.
Some results coming through. Brooklyn 4, Hampshire Maroon 4. Not the contest. Two teams that
Well, here's Arnett Gardens again. Allen. Kelson sends it inside. Not cleared too far out. It's with Martin on his left. Plays it back inside to Smith and tried to force a shot, but couldn't get a lot behind it. Johnson is back now with Evans, punting that one inside the box. Not the most convincing clearance. Thomas does well. He's had a good game so far, and he fires that one across goal. He's been busy, James Thomas.
Yeah, he's been all over. Intercepting, defending well. Some good quality on the ball as well with his progressive passing. Arnett Gardens just can't seem to find enough openings to wear down this Tivoli Gardens team. It was that man who gave them the lead. Fuller, first goal of the Jamaica Premier League season. Of course, he scored in the Link Cup previously.
Here's Simpson. And Fuller manages to keep it in play. No, he did not. in that 4-4 encounter, we should point out, well, 4-4 between Falkland and Chapelton, the two relegated teams. Neil Clark scored 4 goals for Falkland. Alex Gale scored a hat-trick for Chapelton. So maybe it was an exciting affair, Leger Williams.
Well, hopefully Neil Clark and Alex Gale have goal bonuses in their contracts, because they certainly ran it up today.
Smith. Was he pulled on the edge of the box? Free kick to Arnett Gardens, and this could be dangerous. Could be really dangerous for the visitors.
We've already seen what one team can do from this range. Is it now the turn of Arnett Gardens? Yeah, Price impeding Ajuma Johnson there. I expected Ajuma Johnson to be over this one, but it's actually Kelson and Shanoy Evans. Evans blazed one too far not too long ago.
We have an update to tell you right after this free kick, and it has to do with that battle for 6th spot. Free kick from Arnett Gardens. Evans behind this. So too Kelson, the 4-man wall already set up by Nicholas Clark. Where will this go? Kelson trying to catch Clark out, but no issues there in the end. High and wide. It's a big battle going on at Ferdanita Park. Dunbeholden against Mount Pleasant. It's now 1-1. Stephen Barnett equalizing in the 37th minute. 1-1 between Mount Pleasant and the Dunbeholden. Here's the ball played inside. Again, critical interception. It was necessary there. And Smith trying to run out of trouble. And Thomas has it. Gives it to Johnson. Gets Kelson involved. Wants the return. Gets it. Martin stabs it forward to Allen, and no issues there for Tivoli Gardens. Oh, he's robbed by Allen. Allen on his right. His shot is blocked. Martin gets it. Hans was trying to guide that away from Kelson, who may have done some damage to his shoulder.
That goal for Dunbeholden that you mentioned has given them more of a foothold in that game, but it hasn't changed too much in terms of the table. Portmore still occupying that number 6 position at current.
Indeed. Remember, if Dunbeholden, they end up winning, that's it.
Yeah, all they have to do is just win out. Easier said than done against Mount Pleasant, however.
Well, here's a shot that's wayward, to say the least.
Tivoli have looked somewhat threatening when going forward.
Well, here's Arnett Gardens trying to be threatening. The challenge was critical from Barrington Price. And he puts it into touch for a throw in. Very close to the corner flag.
Good defending all around from Barrington Price. Excellent sliding challenge initially. Didn't expect him to be keeping up with Marlon Allen.
I did not expect it either, to be fair.
I'm not sure if it's the sunshine. I'm not sure if it's the fact that it's the last game of his season. But he turned on the afterburners there. And did some really good defensive work for his team.
We usually see Evans with the long throws here, and he's gone across to take this one. It is another long throw. Tried to get Ezra and Simpson involved. I suspect another long throw is coming up.
He would have to do very well from here to get it anywhere close to the box.
He's done very well. Ezra and Simpson again, flicking on the header straight to Nicholas Clark.
I underestimated his strength there.
Trying to go through and does well. The flag stays down. Allen is through once more. Can he convert? It's a total lack of confidence from the striker. And the crowd, they cannot believe it. Allen should have scored his 5th goal of the season.
Not for the first time of the afternoon. You're saying that really poor finish here. Wasn't even close in the end. Decided to go with the left foot. He was way too central for that type of finish. Once again, should have opened up his body much earlier. Placed that into a corner. Both sides of the goal to aim at for Marlon Allen. But yet again, he's raced through and just executed a really poor finish. And Arnett Gardens, they usually have the services of Fabian Reed up there to finish those chances. Marlon Allen hasn't been executing so far.
Well, to be fair, Marlon Allen last season would have executed that chance. But hasn't been the same, has he? Gerald Neal Jr. with the ball inside the area. Pennycook in the way. Kept alive. Was he fouled? He was in the D. Free kick to Arnett Gardens.
One thing that won't lack, however, is his hard work, his tenacity. Did well to win a foul there. And this is another good area. Pennycook. Yeah, that's a foul.
Already on a yellow card is Odin Pennycook, the Tivoli Gardens captain. So he has to be careful from here on out.
It's Kelson again. Once again, I'm a bit surprised, especially from this angle that Ajuma Johnson isn't. He is there, but Kelson does look favorite. Let's see what trick Arnett Gardens have up their sleeve.
I think this has Johnson written all over it, you know. The wall is being constructed. Although Kelson has eyes for it as well. Who will go for it? It is Johnson! Of course it's Ajuma Johnson! A thunderous strike to pull the junglist level in this one. That is his 7th this season, and it was the perfect strike. It's 1-1.
You want quality, you want an equalizer. Look no further than Ajuma Johnson. What a strike. If Nikolai Fuller went for finesse, went for placement, Ajuma Johnson went for a ferocious strike. That one almost tore the net, and it's almost tore the house down here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. It's Arnett Gardens 1, Tivoli Gardens 1.
And they're back in the lead as far as the live table is concerned. Back at the top with the equalizer here. Pretty much close to half time. and maybe they'll move forward confidently. But Tommy Lawrence is on it for Tivoli Gardens. Ball touched inside. It's with Mackenzie. Again, the movement was predictable for Cunningham, who's been immense so far. And here is Kelson, now on this left-hand side, looking up for assistance, taking his time about it too. Rashid Kelson. Johnson bringing in Evans into play. Evans, delightful ball. Oh, just away from Smith.
Yeah, that ball had touch me and go into the goal written all over it. But Shea Smith just wasn't gambling enough. Really good delivery. Yeah, he was just a fraction too late and didn't bother to overextend himself in the end. Yeah, this game has been a really good watch so far.
Well, the Battle of the Gardens usually is to be fear. Even though there's nothing in it for Tivoli Gardens, maybe that's the reason why they are playing with such freedom. But they have been pegged back and they want a response. It's Mackenzie. Hesitated to make the pass initially to Fuller, but the magician on it sends it out wide to Lewis. Lewis, well, we have seen better from him, but he has forced the corner. Another corner kick to Tivoli Gardens. We're hearing just a minute of stoppages to be played. Yep. Maybe the final play of the half here. This corner kick coming up for Tivoli Gardens. Fuller to present it. That's not a bad in-swinging corner, you know. Wasn't the most convincing punch. Lewis trying to nod that forward. Hurts himself with the landing. Still on the turf. Arnett Gardens can't quite come out of their own box. And it goes the other way. And now the play is stopped. Yeah, he landed awkwardly there. So, Arnett Gardens with the equalizer, back on top of the table on 53 points. Cavalier, they're now leading Montego Bay United by 2-1, so Bay United, they've got a goal back. While Portmore United, they still have the advantage in their game. 1-0 Portmore United over Malines United, and with that, they are in 6th spot. Dunbeholden, remember, if they beat Mount Pleasant, they will cement 6th spot. At the moment, it's 1-1. Kelson. Ball played inside, dangerous. It's Johnson, wide of the mark. Ended up dragging that one wide. Did Johnson. That's the last bit of action for the half. And Arnett Gardens at the very end of the first stanza, almost pulling ahead there. And Johnson, who was responsible for the equalizer, had the opportunity to send them ahead after Nicalia Fuller pulled off a stunner from just outside the box to give Tivoli Gardens the advantage early in this one. And we're all squared at the interval, 1-1 between Arnett Gardens and Tivoli Gardens.
He did have some exciting moments. It was Tivoli getting us underway, and they were the ones who were threatening first. Arnett were sloppy early, and Tivoli looked to exploit that. But time after time, it was repelled by Joel Cunningham. And this was a first big chance for Arnett Gardens. Marlon Allen, not the right finish. Opened up his body well, but once it was time to shoot, couldn't find the desired connection. And Tivoli Gardens escaped. And now they would take the lead. Nikolai Fuller, what a free kick. From high school days he's been doing this. He's done it again, this time in the seniors, last game of the season. Arnett Gardens were trying their best to reply via free kick. Marlon Martin this time turning provider to Marlon Allen. But once again the finish was just not right. Left-footed, he could not find the back of the net. But you know who could? With their left foot, Ajuma Johnson. What a thunderbolt to bring the scores level. His 7th of the season. And the guys kept on pushing. And it was Ajuma Johnson this time with his right. Barely dragging that one wide. And after 45 minutes, as I said, 1-1. Arnett Gardens with twice as many shots as Tivoli. 14 to the 7 of Tivoli Gardens. 4 on target. Tivoli only with 1 on target, the goal. 11 fouls between both teams. 1 yellow card, that one going to Pennycook, the captain of Tivoli Gardens. No red card so far. 1 offside. 4 corners between both teams. 2 saves have had to be made by Tivoli Gardens. And possession-wise, it's Arnett Gardens with the majority of the ball. And after 45 minutes, it's Arnett Gardens 1, Tivoli Gardens 1. And we'll be back after this break for some second half action.
So, NBA playoffs continue on SportsMax tonight, 7 o'clock ADCT, the Nuggets against the Suns. Also in action tomorrow, the Knicks against the Heat, 6:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m. ECT. You can watch it on SportsMax. And also on Monday, the Warriors against the Lakers, 9 o'clock Jamaica time, 10 in the Eastern Caribbean time. You can also watch that on the Home of Champions. So let's take a look at the live scores coming in. Arnett Gardens, of course, 1-1 with Tivoli Gardens, 1-1 also between Dunby Holden and Mount Pleasant, 0-0 between Harbourview and Veer United. And Portmore United, they have the advantage over Malines United by 1-0. Cavalier leading Montego United by 2-1, and it is goalless between Waterhouse and Humble Iron. As we take a look at the table as it stands, Arnett Gardens, they are on 53 points, one ahead of Cavalier. Arnett Gardens, they just need to maintain this scoreline or win if they wish to secure the top spot after the regular season. Portmore United presently in 6th position. Dunby Holden, though, they need to win in order to get back that 6th spot, but Portmore United with the advantage now, they are on 40 points and they are a point ahead of Dunby Holden and Waterhouse. So, back at the Anthony Sporting Sports Complex, 1-1 between Arnett Gardens and Tivoli Gardens, and the second half about to get on the way here. Arnett Gardens going to make a change. So Amos comes on for Ezra Simpson. Rashawn Amos back a part of the squad, the youngster. Usually plays at the right back, Rashawn Amos. Let's see if there's going to be a change in the back line. It seems that there is going to be a change, as there's an opportunity that goes trickling through to Nicholas Clark. Yeah, so Gerald Neal is, I think he's going to be going as one of the two centre backs for Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, a lot of versatility in that back line of Arnett Gardens. I think all of those 4 players around there kind of slot in at centre back. Common trend in football actually nowadays. All 4 defenders across the back line, a classic Italian tactic. But yeah, Amos on.
Rashawn Amos. What kind of impact will he have this afternoon? Oh, the kick goes in favour of Tivoli Gardens. Alton Lewis needs some attention. Free kick to Tivoli Gardens. Well, the game is going to be restarted by the drop ball situation. Kelson does well to get out of that situation. Johnson gets a throw for his team. Oh, lovely turn from Smith! Oh, how has he missed that? That is a massive chance for the Arnett Gardens winger. But somehow, he hasn't found the target.
Yeah, that's not something that we're used to seeing from Shea Smith. Ball broke for him on his left foot. Yeah, just blazed that one wide in the end. Tivoli lucky again. Now 3 real golden opportunities that they've gifted, really, Arnett Gardens. But yet the scoreline is level.
Here comes Arnett Gardens with Johnson. He was on his laurels there, Alan.
Yeah, really didn't give Ajuma Johnson any options in terms of making a run into either space. As you mentioned in the first half, maybe he is lacking in confidence. Not seeing many instinctive movements from him.
Mackenzie didn't keep that one in play. Play being punctuated by the whistle now. Amos to deliver. Not a lot of players forward, so not a lot of options for the right back, and Clark with no issues there. Amos on it. Ajuma Johnson. Jaheim Thomas. Lovely ball out wide. Here's the delivery at the back post. That's delightful from Arnett Gardens. Absolutely wonderful. It was placed right on the doorstep. And who came knocking but Rashiki Kelson, his 3rd this season. And Arnett Gardens turning on the thrills here. What a ball that was.
Rashiki Kelson has been in fine form as of late. Yeah, he made no mistake with that finish. Yeah, that was served up on a cold dish. And he applied the warm finish to heat it up. Arnett Gardens warming up this venue, and they're now 2-1 up against Tivoli Gardens.
It was Evans, wasn't it? He provides those deliveries all the time. They're usually of quality, and that was first class. It really was. And Kelson made it oh so easy at the back post.
And just like that, Arnett Gardens have now reclaimed their comfortable 3-point cushion atop the Jamaica Premier League table.
Simpson. Amos has it. Knew where his teammate was. Martin. Evans. He took a long time to go down. Lewis.
I think as he was going down, he was expecting a whistle. I think that's why it was so delayed, but he never came for him. Alton Lewis eventually just booting it out of touch. And I wouldn't be surprised if now we see Arnett Gardens really turn on some style, as they tend to do.
Thomas. Amos. You're moving confidently. Kelson. Lovely stuff. Amos gets the corner for his team.
Oh, it's looking silky out there now. Speaking of style, Arnett Gardens looking really good now that they have the lead in this game.
You wonder what was said at halftime. You don't want to be a fly in the dressing room there to hear what either Eric Rademacher or Paul Teagat Davis had to say. Corner kick to Arnett. Had to hurry to get that one. Playing around with it. And Shea Smith now striding forward, or at least tries to. Says he was clipped. Oh, they have been robbed. Johnson finishes wide. He had options. Went for glory himself. Couldn't hit the target.
Well, when he scored a goal that good in the first half, I can't say I blame him. Yeah, it wasn't the best of shots in the end. Tried to find that far corner. Maybe should have went for the other one. But they do have a corner, and they have made a substitution as well. Arnett Gardens. Rashiki Kelson will be making his way off for Rivaldo Mitchell. James Thomas also making his departure for Deshaun Plunkett. James Thomas had a marvelous game, if I must say so myself. Really impressed with his midfield performance in those deeper areas.
Diego McKenzie is now off. Kamali Smith was originally in the starting lineup. Is now on the park. Anthony Nelson comes on for Tommy Lawrence.
Mauricio Marvel. Substitution substituted. 58.
Horatio Morgan is now on the park, replacing Alton Lewis. There's the corner kick. Smith touches it back inside. Neal trying to win the header. Johnson sends this one inside, the header over the top. Diving effort there from Marlon Martin. Oh, lovely done. Mitchell sends this one inside and it's nodded away by Pennycook. Johnson trying to make his way between a couple of defenders. Mitchell. Now he goes the other way, but Arnett Gardens, they get it back. Smith takes it down well. Has Keena Simpson for company. Evans. Johnson. Amos. Allen has space to crack this one, and the follow-up is put away. They get the third goal out at Gardens. Shea Smith on the score sheet. Clark is hurt, but he was there to mop up after a wonderful effort from Allen initially, and Clark couldn't put it out of danger.
Well, if the first two Arnett Gardens goals were scored through excellence and beauty, this one was scored through just sheer persistence. He's the only one who reacted, Shea Smith, and he's the only one who bore the fruit from that attempted shot by Marlon Allen. And just like that, Arnett Gardens are all of a sudden showing why they have been the #1 team in the Jamaica Premier League thus far. And after 60 minutes and change, it's Arnett Gardens 3, Tivoli Gardens 1.
Shea Smith getting his 5th goal of the season. And Arnett Gardens now sitting pretty. It's looking to be a long afternoon for Clark and company.
He's hurt after the play, Nicholas Clark, but it must be said that shot should have gone further away from the danger zone. But it's also poor defending, poor effort from the Tivoli Gardens defenders, because why was Shea Smith the only one who was active to the situation? Yeah, Arnett Gardens really imposing themselves now, as they have been for most of the season.
McCain. Picked up by Smith. That's a lovely ball to Allen. Allen cutting it back. Allen to finish. Wide of the mark again. Well, his best effort came through a couple minutes before, helping out Smith to get his goal. On this occasion, well, it's unfortunate to say back to regular scheduled programming for Allen.
Yeah, hasn't been his best in front of goal so far today. Hasn't mattered, but I'm sure he would have loved to finish that one. Especially going into the playoffs. I think that having all of your players unsung, having all of them in form is so pivotal for any team that has title aspirations. And I think if Marlon Allen can even get on the score sheet in any way in this game, he could have a really positive impact on Arnett Gardens for the rest of the season.
Kamada Smith sends it out wide after going on a little run there. There's a ball inside. Well, that went in the opposite direction for Gerald Neal Jr. There's a corner kick. Fuller nods it down, and it's headed away and eventually cleared by Arnett Gardens. Almost got through there, and the free kick will go in favor of Tivoli Gardens here. Free kick to Tivoli Gardens. They don't want to go back here. There's a delivery inside. Oh! Well, that did not miss by much. And there were a couple of Tivoli Gardens players on the line. They get another corner kick though.
Yeah, all that needed was a further glance. Pennycook and Nels were at the doorstep of the goal. Couldn't get the requisite touch, however, but they do have a corner.
Let's see what they can do with this. Still players up. 5 inside the box. At the back post is Pennycook. Kept it alive. Johnson expected to do better there. They need a vital delivery inside the box. Unable to do so. Simpson has it. Smith. Nelson didn't do much there. Breaking news. Dunbeholden with the advantage. 2-1 over Mount Pleasant. Dean Andre Thomas, the goal scorer. So as it stands, Dunbeholden back in 6th spot.
Oh, the tide continues to turn. That's a big one.
Simpson being yellow carded But yeah, the story of the battle of the final playoff spot continues. If the scoreline remains the same on all fronts, even with Portman United winning, Dunby Holden they do have the advantage in their matchup at Ferdinand Park over Mount Pleasant. If destiny is in your own hands, you take it. And Dunby Holden at the moment, they're taking it. So just to confirm the live table here, Dunby Holden in that 6th and final playoff spot on 41 points. Still have about 22 minutes to go. Maybe a few more lines will be written in this chapter.
Yes, still maybe some twists and turns to come. I don't think we're going to see too many in this game, however. Arnett Gardens firmly in control.
Smith in a battle with Keano Simpson. Flag was up against Shea Smith. Here's the ball sent inside the area and easily repelled by the Arnett Gardens defense. Well, that was poor. Johnson does well. Nelson for Tivoli. Kimali Smith has 1 goal to his name so far this season, the youngster. Has looked lively since he's been on the park. Mitchell. Here's an opportunity that's over the top, really. Oh, poor Marlon Allen, you have to say at this point. You really do have to feel sorry for him in missing yet another opportunity supplied on a platter by Shea Smith.
I think the only time I would be saying poor Marlon Allen is if goals were a currency, because at that point he would be poor in terms of finishing chances today. Really poor finishing display from him, Marlon Allen. Arnett Gardens making 2 more substitutions now. Shea Smith to be replaced. First by Kevon McGregor.
So the time for Ajuma Johnson is over. Tyrese Sims now replaces him. Rodica Wellington is now on the park for Nicalia Fuller. Dunbeholden now leading Mount Pleasant by 3-1. And you think that that is that.
Yeah, after all the promise of there being some serious drama, it looks as if Dunbeholden are just taking care of their business. Mitchell. Well, this shot is well wide of the mark. Portmore United now leading Malines United by 2-0. Although in the scheme of things, based on what's happening at Ferdinand Park, that scoreline does not matter. Dunbeholden with a 3-1 advantage over Mount Pleasant means that Dunbeholden, they are in the driver's seat in that race for 6th spot. Yeah, that Portmore result looking almost arbitrary at this point.
Still a taskmaster, Paul Tiga Davis, wanting his players to give of their best. They'll be out of action for a couple of weeks. They are, of course, not involved in the Link Cup. And the top 2 teams in the Premier League will get a rest as the playoffs begin, the quarterfinal round in particular. So quite a few of the players would get a little bit of a run out today, and of course it would give their premier striker more rest days. Fabian Reid, we're hearing that is injured. Was in the squad last time out, but he didn't take the field, and he's not in the squad at all today. But certainly he has additional time to get ready. Oh, there he is. Not in the squad, but definitely in the stands. And he's a champion in and of himself, Fabian Reid. As we take a look at the app moment, SportsMax app moment of the game. And it was a goal from Fuller. Wonderfully done. Over the wall. And to the right of Eric Edwards, who could do little with that one. And that's a SportsMax app moment of the game. Nicalia Fuller. There's a free kick inside the area. Lovely turn, and the shot though is not as spectacular from Kimani Smith.
It certainly had the power, but couldn't keep it down.
Well, the entire Arnett Gardens went up as one. They're in disagreeing with the call. Plunkett. Amos with a good header there. Plunkett. Smith. That was an easy call. Foul coming in from Smith. Plunkett on it now. Again with a shot from distance. Well, he's showing his ambition. Wasn't the best word there from Nicholas Clark, however.
You're kind.
Oh, nicely done on the byline and almost went through. Well, it did go through, but Tivoli Gardens with the clearance, and they have a free kick. Yellow card is shown. Flashed in the direction of Kimani Smith, who's had a couple of nibbles since he's been on the park.
Yeah, he's just been looking to be involved in any way he can be, and that's a really poor challenge, actually. And Arnett Gardens keeper, Joel Cunningham, who as per usual hasn't put a foot wrong.
That goes up, offside. Who do you have in mind for player of the game? I'm sure there are several candidates.
Yeah, all over the pitch for Arnett Gardens, really. At first, I was thinking about Joel Cunningham because he's been so flawless, but they did concede a goal, albeit a free kick, via his handball. But in terms of Ajuma Johnson, I think was really good before coming off. Kelson had his moments. Smith scored, but he wasn't his usual fluent self. Marlon Martin was really good in midfield as well before coming off. But with that being said, I would like to think that while he was on the pitch, albeit he was only on the field for around 56 minutes, Jaheim Thomas was looking ridiculously good for me personally.
In that deeper role, eh?
Yeah, didn't put a foot wrong. Was good in both attack and defense, ball progression. Also had a little bit of what the Spanish like to call pausa in terms of his play.
Ball played inside the area. It's a big chance for Alan, surely! Oh yes, he's got his goal. Well, it's about time, because he did have chance after chance. And finally, Allen, with his 5th goal this season, taking his opportunity, and that will do his confidence a world of good here.
Yep, he surely took his time, not only with getting the goal, but the time it took. Calm finish, confident one as well. With that finish, you would have never thought that he had missed a few earlier. And you can just see the relief on him. Arnett Gardens, as I said, they would have a really good second half. They've added a 3rd in the second, 4th overall in the game. Yep, Arnett Gardens 4-1 up now over their Garden rivals. Comfortable as they've been for most of the season.
Yep, they certainly need to cool down after that one. They've been all over Tivoli Gardens in the second half. There's a hold up in the play because of the sprinklers being on. I think they're on the wrong side of the field. They should be in the Arnett Gardens half. They're the ones that need cooling down. Fabian Reed enjoying that. Hoping that he's back to full fitness in short order.
I know for a fact there's no way he's missing those semi-final fixtures by hook or by crook. 15-goal man this season, Fabian Reed. 2nd most in the league this season, tied with Trevante Stewart. Excellent season by all accounts. I'm actually really surprised that no one has cracked the 20-goal mark.
There's still time.
In the regular season, at least.
In the regular season,
judging
yes,
by the pace that a couple of those guys were going at in terms of Colin Anderson and Trevante Stewart. But Fabian Reed actually has really come along. Rivaldo Mitchell channeling his inner Robinho there with...
Yeah, that Robinho must have been deep inside.
Pause.
The last time Arnett Gardens would have been in the top spot as far as the regular season was concerned, as I mentioned before, it was in the 2014-2015 season. That year, Leon Strickland was your top scorer. He only had 10 goals to his name. So the goals were pretty much shared around evenly for Arnett Gardens that season.
And to be fair, they have been shared around this season as well. Marlon Allen, 5 goals. Ajuma Johnson, 7 goals.
Shea Smith, 5 goals as well.
And that's only from January, I believe. So they have been getting goals from all over.
And that's typically the style of Arnett Gardens, right?
Yeah.
They don't usually have one source. That's why they have been so dangerous over the years. But it is a rarity to see them so consistent throughout the season.
And even with these 4 goals now, they now have the most goals in the Premier League this season with 48. Tying with Mount Pleasant, who also have 48. Cavalier on 47. The big 3, one might call it, of the season so far. But you know better than most, Donald, a lot can change in the playoffs.
A whole lot. Tivoli Gardens, they don't have a lot of running in them. We're hearing that 4 minutes of stoppages will be played. But surely Arnett Gardens have, well, if they haven't done so before, they've laid on a marker today on the eve of the playoffs, while they rest and the other teams battle. Done beholden virtually confirming their playoff spot, but they have a lot of football ahead of them, you know. They have the link up to contend with, and just days between the link up and the playoffs. So they will not have a lot of rest in between. So are they already at a disadvantage? Morgan trying to go goalwards. Was a deflection. Corner kick. There's a corner kick, and Edwards couldn't quite hold on. Luckily to get it on the second occasion. Allen, oh, that's a lovely ball. Plunkett, well, what a block from Pennycook. It was necessary. Sometimes he appears to be everywhere, Odin Pennycook. But Deshaun Plunkett would want to do over there, I think.
Yeah, took a little bit of time to shift it onto his right foot, and once he was getting the strike off, Pennycook was right there.
Martin. Halfway through the time for stoppages, and Plunkett is on it. And Amos looking for options. And Plunkett with yards of space.
Once again, supporters, judges, Arnett Gardens available to travel up this.
Smith. Wellington fires that one over the top. It's full time at Fernit Park, and done beholden, they have confirmed their place in the playoffs of the Jamaica Premier League. Last year's beaten finalists will still do battle for the title. Plunkett. It's almost over now. It is over now. Arnett Gardens made it look easy in the end. And for the first time since the 2014-15 regular season, the Junglists finished first. A wonderful season, a consistent season, capped off by a performance, their final one this season inside the Anthony Sporting Sports Complex. It's a win to remember over the arch rivals, and they have a period of rest before they resume for semi-final battle in the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel. Paul Tiga Davis is a man pleased, and when he's pleased, you know that his team has done really well. Tivoli Gardens, they have to think it over, talk it over as they prepare for next season. But as far as this season is concerned, Arnett Gardens, they are on a high, and they are highest in this league after the 4-1 result over Tivoli Gardens. As we take a look at the highlights here, the full-time highlights here, Tivoli Gardens really came for the party, didn't they? And they had a few opportunities here, and some good movement, some good working around inside the area. But then a mistake at the back. Marlon Allen had several opportunities. This was the first big one here, denied by Nicholas Clark. He really should have put that one away. Barrington Price on the line there, but Allen, he has been woefully out of form. Then this peach of a strike from Fuller. Tivoli Gardens with the advantage. Edwards moving across to his right, could not get there. And Fuller with his first goal this Jamaica Premier League season. And another chance for Allen. That one was worse. Didn't hit the target there. But who hit the target? Ajuma Johnson. What a hit that was. Really rifled that one into the roof of the net. Nicholas Clark couldn't do anything about that one. And they'd add more. Smith, not on that occasion though, dragging that one wide of the mark. He was a little bit off colour. But the boys who missed chances would eventually score. As this ball inside, wonderful from Evans, you know, on the doorstep. And Kelson running in, touching that one at the back crook post across the line. And Arnett Gardens with the advantage. That was just beautiful to watch. Arnett Gardens at their best there. And then Allen with the effort. Wonderfully struck. But couldn't keep it out of danger. Nicholas Clark and Smith was there to tuck that one home. No issues there for the winger. They are enjoying themselves. And they would enjoy themselves even more with that finish from Smith. That was his 5th goal this season. And there will be so much more to come from Arnett Gardens. Ball played inside, and Allen finally converting inside the box. Like the touch never left. And would get that goal finally for him. That was also his 5th this season. Yeah, after having so many chances, he took that one in the end. Arnett Gardens with the victory. The final score, 4-1. They had 25 shots, 9 of which were on target. Tivoli Gardens with just 11 shots. The one target, the goal. 23 fouls in this game. 3 of the cards were flashed. Tivoli Gardens edging it in terms of corners. Arnett Gardens boxing it in terms of possession.
It was a real it was a real calm performance from you today. You played really well. You played much deeper than usual. What were the instructions that your coaches gave you?
Well, the instructions that my coaches tell me that is today me have to play a tougher game, drop deep because you have a player and some card issues. So we have to feel in that position and play to the best of my ability.
You did it really well actually as you got the man of the match despite not scoring. Which position do you prefer? Do you prefer to play deep and dictate play, or you prefer to get more into the box and try and get on the score sheet?
Well, it's always nice to score. It doesn't matter where I play, but anywhere my coach tells me to play, I have to just do it that way.
You've been contributing all season. You're into the playoffs now, into the semi-finals. I'm sure you'll be looking forward to getting on the score sheet, playing well in those semi-finals and winning a trophy as well.
Yes, that's the aim. That's the aim right now from this stage.
All right, thank you very much. Best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks.
Now moving on to Coach Dwayne Blake of Tivoli Gardens, assistant coach. Tivoli Gardens, of course, not on the winning side today. Coach Blake, you didn't get the result today. It wasn't the performance maybe that you would have wanted, but the season is over now. What's your take on it?
When we look at it, you know, we've been half time when we go 1-1. I said to them that for the entire season, we are the only team in this league that was supposed to lose more games from a winning position. And you can see this season, we have a very bad season. We just have to look on all angles where we go wrong, you know, and as you can see, we need more players, so we have to look outside and look where to strengthen and come better next season.
Well, Coach, I'm a positive person. I know you are as well. What are the positives that you have seen from Tivoli Gardens overall this season?
A lot of the youngsters, them stood out, you know, again, a nice season again from our captain, Penny Cook. So a lot of positive in terms of going forward, a lot of youngsters. What we see we just need some more experienced player with them who really show that they really want to play for the club. So that we just have to look on.
You mentioned the youngsters, especially Fuller. He scored a lovely free kick out there today. Is he a player that you really can see really pushing this club forward for seasons to come?
Definitely. You just see him play with him hard for the club. Going forward, Fuller will be a big plus for Tivoli team.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Okay, well.
We'll now be moving on to the winning coach. Not only in the game, but also the #1 coach, the #1 team in terms of the Jamaica Premier League standings this season. Coach Paul Teagat Davis. Coach, first of all, how was the game for you?
First of all, I must say crime and violence must stop, you know. Secondly, I'm really disappointed. You can't win a league and you don't get a cup. I don't understand what it's all about, you know. You win a league. Where's the cup? That's really embarrassing. Unless there's no cup to win a league, and there should be a cup to win a league. This is the Premier League, come on. You know, I think they dropped the ball just now. You win a league, you should be celebrating to win the league. Very disappointed.
Well, you're disappointed in that aspect, but I'm sure you've been very pleased with your team's play, not only today, but throughout the season so far.
Well, this is behind us now, you know. What we have done now is behind us. Now we have to get ourselves together for the semi-final round, you know. Every team now, looking forward for the semi-final round. So for us to get ourselves together, have to play much better, pass much better. Everything has to be much better now. It's like a knockout round now.
You have 2 weeks to rest now. None of your other opponents in the playoffs have that luxury. What will you be doing over these 2 weeks to get your team ready for that occasion?
But it's not about luxury, because you can rest, but players can be still playing and in form. So it is no luxury. What you have to do is just keep our team fit, strong, mentally focused, get some practice game in. Now we have some injuries, like 6-7 injuries right now. Now is the best time to get them treated, rest, and get back to business.
All right, thanks, Coach. Great game, great season so far, and keep on pushing.
I must say again, Martin, I think he was exceptional tonight, Yeah, I don't know. It's no disrespect to all you guys, to the MVPs, but this guy played a superb game tonight. In the midfield, that control the game left, right, and center. But what am I to say? We are picking about crime and violence again. We never stop saying it. Must stop.
Yeah, several players had magnificent games for Arnett Gardens today, that's for sure. It was difficult to choose, but thought best side was Jaheim Thomas. Having said that, let's recap match week 26. Falkland and Chapelton in the battle of the wooden spoon. They still couldn't be separated, so they go down together hand in hand. 4-4 the score there. Of course, Arnett Gardens with a 4-1 win over Tivoli Gardens. Dunbeholden beating Mount Pleasant. They needed to win to get that final spot, that final playoff spot, that 6th spot. They did, coming from behind to beat Mount Pleasant by 3-1. It was goalless between Harbourview and Veer United. Portmore United did everything in their power to get that 6th spot. 3-0 over Malines United. Cavalier edging Montego Bay United by 2-1, and it was goalless between Waterhouse and Humber Lion. So here's the table. Arnett Gardens on 55 points. They may not have a trophy, but they do have about $1 million in the bank ahead of Cavalier. So that's the top 2. They'll rest for a couple of weeks. Mount Pleasant, Harbourview, Humber Lion, Dunbeholden will do battle in the playoffs. Portmore United just missing out, so too Waterhouse there in the end. Falkland and Chapelton Maroons, as I said before, the bottom 2. So it's 3 against 6, 4 against 5. Dunbeholden against Mount Pleasant. Humber Lion against Harbourview. I think they settled for the spoils there, and of course they'll be meeting over the course of 2 legs. So that's going to be interesting, the quarterfinal fixtures. Lots to look forward to on the home of champions, including the first leg quarterfinals of the Jamaica Premier League, live on SportsMax 2, Monday, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. ECT, and that's Monday, May 15th, not tomorrow, the following Monday. Dunbeholden against Mount Pleasant, and of course, right after that, it will be Humber Lion against Harbourview, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, 8:30 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean. And of course, we have the link up to look forward to on Friday as well. We're going to be live from the Stadium East Field. It's going to be on SportsMax 2 as well as on our YouTube channel. Harbourview against Portmore United, the first game of the doubleheader, 5:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean time. And of course, right after that, we'll see Cavalier and Dunbeholden in action at 8 o'clock Jamaica time, 9 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean time. And that's the first leg semi-finals of the Link Knockout Cup. The Champions League returns. It's the first leg semi-final on SportsMax 2. We have the big one. It's Real Madrid against Manchester City. Match time is 2 o'clock, but you can join us for the pre-game show inside studio about an hour before kickoff. Me and the crew will be there to guide you through this epic matchup between Real Madrid and Manchester City, first leg semi-final from the Bernabeu. That's it for coverage of the opening rounds of the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digital. Just to remind you of the score, Arnett Gardens with a 4-1 win over Tivoli Gardens. It's the final time that we're going to be broadcasting from the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. And on behalf of producer Ramon Stewart and director Michael Edwards and the hard-working production team here at the Home of Champions, my name is Donald Oliver, signing out from Arnett Gardens for the final time.